What's going on, everybody? We're here to talk about some wrestling today. Every time I say that, I think of Triple H. Mind when they invaded WCW, and he was like, "We're going to see WCW, the wrestling." That's what I think of when I say it, like in a southern accent. Here we are. I'd like to just quickly touch on some wrestling points, but I know I'll end up getting far too into it, and it'll go quite a lengthy time. Who knows? But we're going to talk about Survivor Series a wee bit here, and NXT Takeover, and where we go from here. It was a big weekend for the wrestling industry, with Takeover being on Saturday, Survivor Series Sunday, Raw Monday, SmackDown Tuesday. Now, at recording date, SmackDown has not happened yet, so depending on when you watch this, you will know what happens. But SmackDown right now is my favourite brand. It's been NXT for the longest time, since around 2013, 14 time until 2017. NXT was number one for me. I just loved the way it was kind of underground. I loved the way that all the theme songs kind of hit you at different points of the show, and just, I don't know, there was something about the tone of NXT, that sort of rebellious attitude that was missing, and it's just kind of my age and that sort of thing. It's exactly what I needed at the time. So, when that happens, it's like WWE back in the late 90s. You just needed WWE to be the way it evolved into, and then you got all this, pinnacle peak of wrestling, in the late 90s. So it kind of, people say that ECW is another one, TNA in the mid 2000s. There's a certain thing wrestling fans need and expect and want, and when a company or a brand or a show gives them that, then it's just the best thing ever. So to me, for the longest time, 5 years, it was always NXT for me. But for some reason, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just the I was enjoying the main roster more than ever was, or maybe NXT took a little bit of a step down. I don't know. Maybe just some of the characters on the NXT show moved off the show. Maybe it was that. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I ended up just preferring SmackDown, and I think that was due to the sort of brand split thing, and how SmackDown became a super show. Man, it had one of the best rosters. We had some really good matches, that sort of thing, and it was kind of the way it was when it originally, split from Raw back in the early 2000s, where SmackDown was the cool show to it was the wrestling show. And I guess that kind of happened, maybe not to the same degree, but it kind of happened again in sort of late 2016 when the brand split happened. But even then, it wasn't I love SmackDown more than Raw. I just love everything, And that's the thing, when you're a wrestling fan and everything's really bad, it's not as bad as people make out to be if you just love everything, And it's just, I feel like that's the easiest way to go. I do just love everything. I find positives in everything, especially wrestling. So, whatever. This is what happens when we talk about wrestling. I get so passionate and we just go off in rants, but that's fine. That's what this is for. So the NXT thing, NXT's still amazing. And I kind of made that out to be, that SmackDown's better than NXT and I don't like it anymore. That's not the case at all. Still watch NXT every week, still love it. The takeovers are second to none. I just feel sometimes NXT gets they try a little bit too hard to be, not cool, that's the wrong way to put it, but just to be rebellious, and we're going to have 45-minute matches because why not, And sometimes 45-minute matches just don't work, I thought War Games, the TakeOver War Games 2 show this past weekend was amazing. One of the best takeovers ever. With the 2 out of 3 Falls match with Baszler and Kairi Sane was good. Aleister Black and Gargano was great, especially the fact that Gargano was a heel, which is so weird because I love Johnny Gargano, and I feel like if I was younger and if I was a kid, I'd be watching that so confused. But he did a really good job, or he's doing a really good job, playing the sort of I'm bitter about everything sort of bad guy. And then you got Velveteen Dream and Ciampa, which I always feel guilty enjoying, because it's Velveteen Dream shouldn't be having these 5-star kind of esque matches, with these ridiculous false finishes and stuff. But it was a really good match. And then War Games was really good too. Only thing I'd say about War Games was, again, it was 47 minutes long, and it's right, half an hour in, we get it, But whatever, you have to do what you got to do. You got to get all the spots in. You've got the time. Why not use it? And that's fine. All 3 Gargano Ciampa matches are over 35 minutes long, and that's fine. They just, when every single one is over 35 minutes, it just gets a bit right. Okay, here we go. Not to compare that rivalry with another promotion, say Kenny Omega and Okada. That series they had, the first match was 45 minutes, and then they went an hour, and then they went 30 minutes, and it was shorter, and it was so refreshing, and it just worked perfectly, And then The last one was like, wasn't it like 90 minutes or something? But whatever. Yeah, I mean, so what was I going to talk about? So Takeover was really good, and then Survivor Series came, and SmackDown ended up being just this surreal show right now. And then that SmackDown right before Survivor Series happened, where it's just like they just were like, let's just everything's going tits up anyway. Becky's out of the match with Ronda, so let's just change everything. And they did. Like they took folk out of the tag match, you know, and then they took the title off AJ, and Daniel Bryan became the new world champion, which was fine. But then he turned heel, which is bizarre and just odd to think about, considering the fact he was the biggest babyface ever. But do you not think it's so long and overdue, the fact that now Daniel Bryan is a heel? It's just going to be great. I mean, the yes thing is always going to be over, no matter who you are. Daniel Bryan was retired for 2 years, and he was still one of the most overacts in the company because the yes thing was going for everybody. So no matter if Bryan's a heel or face, the yes thing has become universal. Folk just chant yes when they agree with a booking decision, with a title change, with a big spot. You know, they'll just do it with a false finish even. They'll just chant yes, and it's like Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan. So then last thing he needs to do is do it, you know? So why not change it up, be different? I'm sure he's just loving this new thing he's doing. He's just being like a sort of cocky, like, arsehole, you know what I mean? And that's like exactly what he needs to be right now, I think. But it's just odd, and it's just unfortunate. Like, the first time we're going to see him after the heel turn was against Lesnar, who is such a natural heel now. Folk just boo him because you don't deserve it and you don't want to be there. I think at Survivor Series, Lesnar showed just why he wants to be there, but I'll get to that. So Bryan beats AJ for the title, turns heel, and everybody goes mental. And then, of course, I don't want to skip over the Becky thing. Becky Lynch is just, you know, I've been a Becky Lynch fan for years. It's now come to this point where she's the most overact ever, and I couldn't be happier for her. She deserves it. She is the best. She's a great wrestler. She's a good talker. She's very likable. She's just the full package, man. She's got everything, and I can't wait to see her, first of all, healthy and back to doing what she does best, but then having this great title run, you know, and breaking records. You know, it's going to be great. So, well, hopefully, you know, she breaks records and does things like the Sasha and Charlotte thing, where like they were just crushing every record ever, you know. So I think Becky's got a lot of potential to, you know, to kind of counter that and to also break these records. The main event of WrestleMania is the biggest thing to me. I think the money is there. I think the hype is there. You know, if you want to do Becky and Ronda Rousey, you know, that's it. That's the match that can main event WrestleMania as a women's match. You know, Charlotte and Ronda could easily do it, and their match at Survivor Series was awesome, especially the angle afterwards. Charlotte just going mental. Ronda, like, I bet she's like, I gotta pay my dues, hit me with a stick, you know, and just, I don't know. She took it like a champ, and Ronda's so fucking good, it's unbelievable. And yeah, it's like, there's still things there that, you know, she's not great at, like taking things and that, but you need to remember, this is like her 10th match or something, do you know what I mean? This is like her 10th match ever, or 12th match ever. Charlotte's one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, one of the best wrestlers in the world, period. And it's like, she can have a good match with anybody, and then Ronda Rousey's so good for so little in her career, you know. They just had an absolute belter. Like, Ronda's timing and her footing, and this sounds like a complete wanky coming from me, because, like, what have I got to say? What right do I have? But I've definitely reached a point in my wrestling fandom where I've got over the sort of I love everything phase. I've got over the I hate everything phase. I'm not a smart, cool kid anymore. I feel like I look at wrestling much differently than other people now. I look at it as, like, as I'm in an entertainment industry, I guess. In real life, you look at it differently as an entertainment business, which it absolutely is. And you see things like this, you know, the way that Ronda carries herself, the way Ronda positions herself for certain moves. Charlotte speared Ronda, and it was like one of the best spears ever. And it's Ronda taking that. You think that, like, she just turned round and you know, Charlotte speared her and she didn't expect it. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly the way she's walking, the way she's going to land. It's like Goldberg and Lesnar. When Goldberg, like, caught Lesnar with a spear out of nowhere. And folk are going, oh my God, Goldberg just shocked Lesnar. But it's like Lesnar was the one taking that move, you know. Ronda's exactly the same, you know. She's just, I'm not saying she's, you know, in the same ballpark as Goldberg and Lesnar, because they're very experienced and veterans, but Ronda's going places, man. She's so good, and she's so over, and she's so hot, and it's like hot in a buzz way, not beauty. She's stunning, but you know what I mean. I don't want to make that sound sort of derogatory. She's so sexy and hot, man. That's not what I was saying. So that was great. Becky's, there's nothing to worry about. It's done wonders for her. And she, to be fair, if, you know, she was sort of confident in the fact that she was going to main event WrestleMania with Ronda Rousey, Charlotte put a good argument for herself in that Survivor Series match where we can have the Charlotte and Ronda rematch like that, and it would be great. So great stuff. Women's wrestling is so good right now, and is so buzzworthy. It's great, deservedly so. And then the Daniel Bryan thing. Back to that, Daniel Bryan Lesnar is all I kind of want to talk about, but Daniel Bryan and Lesnar, it was just awesome. Like, I was thinking, you know, Lesnar had this great match last year with AJ Styles, and I was thinking, if it's AJ and Lesnar again, which was the plan, it's not going to be the same as it was last year, because why would it be? Like Lesnar would be like, yeah, I did it last year. We're just gonna do another sort of few strikes and then finish sort of thing. So I was worried about that. Maybe it wasn't going to happen, but I was worried about that. But then Bryan won the title, and I'm thinking, okay, well, here's something new for Lesnar to do. But then again, like, it's fresh and there's no build up. You know, Lesnar might be like, I'm not doing this with no build up, you know. But that was kind of the beauty of it. I guess that's why he maybe done that, because he showed that he still cares. He's still a great worker. He's still such a draw. He can still do it great. And we did have that Lesnar squash match. The first, 5 minutes of the match was exactly what we were all expecting, you know. Lesnar just chucking Bryan about and Bryan taking those Germans, and oh my God. And then Bryan fought back, and I thought, okay, here's the hope, F5. And they ended up having like another 7-8 minutes, of this drama, these big moments, posts and dives and kicks and suplexes, and it was great, man. One of Lesnar's best matches of all time. Bryan's best match since coming back to WWE. It would rival his title match actually with AJ on SmackDown just there. That was really good. But yeah, man, so good. It's exactly what wrestling is. It shows how beautiful wrestling can be, and you can tell a story when two pros are so motivated to work with each other and to show how good they both are. They can help each other by doing this. Like Lesnar and Bryan both came off in completely different ways, both for the better, after this match. So fantastic stuff. I loved Survivor Series. I loved TakeOver. And I just love wrestling, man. Wrestling is the best thing ever. So I hope you are enjoying all of WWE stuff and all of NXT stuff and everything else. Not to mention, everything else going on in the world. Coming up to January with another big Tokyo Dome show, which I'm sure will get some more eyes on New Japan, which is great. So yeah, there you go. There's Survivor Series thoughts. Nothing really too intellectual, but just I guess I kind of need to gather them somehow. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for more. We're not as hectic of a YouTube schedule these days, just because I've been busy and it's the end of the year. So we're kind of taking it. We're sort of winding down for the Christmas season and the New Year season. We'll pick back up in the new year. But yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time, folks. This has been CM42TV. You can follow me on Twitter, by the way, at CM42TV. And you can get my podcast on Spotify and iTunes and all that good stuff. Cheers. Until next time, stay safe.